Hi guys, this is my favourite kind of video to make. The one that I've had to make twice. I already made this one, I'm making it again. Hopefully this time it works. I'm not using my idiot phone, I'm using my daughter's not idiot phone. And on that note, I've been putting off ordering a new phone for weeks and weeks and weeks. I'm just going to have to do it because this is fucking ridiculous. Anyway, I'm Trish, and this video is a follow-up to my gastric sleeve videos. If you have a look back, I'll put the playlist on here. I've already used my mouth too much today. I'll put the playlist somewhere. The last time I think I made a video, I mentioned that I would be going for a barium swallow again, and I've got to go and have some nuclear imaging tests done in a couple of days. I had my barium swallow test done today. It confirmed that I do have reflux. That was seen in a gastroscopy I had earlier this year. So now it's been confirmed with the barium swallow. And it has also shown that I've probably got a small hiatus hernia again. I had a hiatus hernia fixed when I had my sleeve gastrectomy done a couple of years ago, so that has obviously failed. From the very quick research I did when I got home, apparently that is very, very common. I really apologise if I repeat anything I've said, because I've already made this video once and I can't remember what I've said and what I haven't said. I'm not going to go into the details of how a barium swallow is actually performed in this video in any great detail, but I do have another video about that. If you want to watch it, I will link it. I'm going to say here, but there's no guarantees. It could be anywhere, but I'll link it somewhere, and if I can't get it onto the screen, it'll be down in the description box. Yeah, so a barium swallow is basically you go along and you swallow a contrast medium. For me, it was barium. Sometimes they use gastrographin, which tastes very, very aniseedy. It's like black jelly beans on steroids, which I don't mind the flavour of, but my body doesn't like it. When I've had gastrographin in the past, it sets off panic attacks, which is really weird, but my body's quite weird with these sorts of things as well. So I had the barium, which is, it's like a thick white sort of a liquid. People say it's chalky. I don't find it chalky. I find the consistency quite nice, almost like a, sort of like a thin, thick shake. And it tastes quite nice and minty fresh, but most people don't like it. So I can imagine if people who don't like it have to have the barium swallow done, it's probably quite bad for them, because you've got to take a mouthful of it and then hold it in your mouth until they tell you to swallow it. So if they don't like the taste of it, that's going to be awful for them actually having to hold it in their mouth, but I like it. So yeah, so the barium swallow today confirmed, yes, I do have reflux, and I have a small hiatus hernia again. So I've got to have some more imaging tests done in a couple of days that will, I don't know, maybe confirm it even further. But that is why the hiatus hernia is most likely why I still have reflux, because I explained all this in my last video. I shouldn't have to do it again. The video that just didn't work. Yeah, the way it works, right? To explain how a hiatus hernia happens, or what it is. You've got, what am I doing? You've got your esophagus that goes all the way down and goes down into your stomach. Now, separating that is your diaphragm. So underneath your diaphragm, you've got your abdominal cavity, and above your diaphragm, you've got your thoracic cavity. So you've got, like your stomach and all your intestines and everything down underneath it, and above it, you've got your heart and your lungs and your esophagus. So your esophagus goes down through a gap in the diaphragm, and so that it can get into the stomach. Now, the reason you get a hiatus hernia is because there is a weakness in the diaphragm, and some of the stomach is able to slip up through the diaphragm and up into the thoracic cavity where it's not meant to be. So then, because at the bottom of your esophagus where it drops down into your stomach, you've got a ring of muscle, a sphincter called the... It's a weird noise in my kitchen, so I'm just going to pretend that didn't happen. It's a weird noise in... Weird noise. It's your stomach can come up through that cardiac sphincter, and so you've got all your stomach acids that can then just squirt out into your esophagus, and that's what causes like the burning with the reflux and the pain. When I actually went in for the barium swallow, because you have to fast for 4 hours prior to having the barium swallow done. So I did. I got up really, really early and I had some breakfast, but when I went in, as quite often happens these days, I feel very full sometimes. Like, you know when you have your Christmas dinner and you just go way too far and you just keep eating and eating and eating and it just feels like your food's backing up. That's what it feels like for me. Or kind of like if you've got a lap band and you've ever had food stuck, you know, you get that pressure in there, like where the food is actually stuck. It's like that, but without the pain. I don't get that extreme pain that you get with a lap band. So it's similar to that. So when I went in there, I didn't want them to think that I'd cheated and eaten just before I went in there, because I thought they're going to be doing like x-rays. They might see food in my stomach still. So I said to them, you know, I have fasted for 4 hours, but I still feel quite full in here. So they had a look and they can't really image food in that's like series of x-rays. But they said when I swallowed the barium, and they got me to have some bread as well soaked in barium, they said it went down my esophagus just fine, and my stomach didn't look overly full. So it looks like my stomach at this stage, looks like my stomach is clearing out okay. And so the fullness that I'm feeling in this area here is most likely the hernia. It's probably my stomach like coming up above the diaphragm, choking on my own spit, and making me feel quite full and like I've got that pressure in there. And I was mistaking that for having a full stomach. And I was just thinking just then, maybe because my tummy is so small, maybe when I'm eating, because it happens after I eat, maybe when I'm eating, my tummy's getting full and that's forcing my stomach up above the diaphragm. I don't know. I might be making up stories there. So anyway, that was supposedly fixed when I had my sleeve done. I never wanted to be sleeved because of my reflux. Reflux is a contraindication, but they didn't want to listen to me. They told me that having the hernia fixed during this sleeve gastrectomy surgery would fix that problem. It hasn't fixed that problem because the hernia has come back. And the little bit of reading I did just before I made this video, it seems to be quite common that hiatal hernias do reoccur in up to 66% of people, but I didn't get time to really research it properly. So now I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they can fix that hernia again. I don't know if they do fix it. Could I have a chai latte, please? I don't know if they do fix it, if it will just fail again. And I certainly don't want to be having hiatal hernia repair surgeries every couple of years. There is another surgery that can be done called a Nissen fundoplication, which is where they take your stomach, in a normal person, they take your stomach and they wrap part of it up around the top of the stomach, and then it can't go up through the diaphragm anymore. I can't have that done because I don't have enough stomach left. I've only got 20% of my stomach left, so I can't have that done. I know that bypass surgery does very often help with reflux. It's like a solution when this happens. So I don't know if they're just going to want to redo the hiatus hernia repair. I don't know if they're going to just try and fob me off again and say that, you know, choking on vomit in my sleep is okay. I don't know if they will suggest a bypass with another hernia repair. They will... Thunder? I think it's thundering. Oh, I was a bit disappointed. I thought it was going to be another earthquake. Yeah, I don't know if they will suggest mesh as a repair, which I will refuse. I've just read way too many bad things about mesh. So I don't know. At this stage, I don't know what's going to happen. I'd be happy for them to just, you know, refix it and do a bypass. And if they do a bypass, I'll only have 50% of what I've got left of my stomach. So around about 10% of what a normal person has. So even less stomach acids, I guess. I don't know. It might actually be time for them to find out why my body makes so much stomach acid. There are a few things that can cause that, which no one has ever investigated. So I think that's it. I think I've recapped everything I said in the video that I made just before this one that didn't work. It's always like a practice run, and it's actually not too bad. I should always make them twice, because believe it or not, when I make them a second time, you don't get as much of me fluffing around and talking shit in the second one, even though I do still talk a lot of shit. So I'll make another video in a couple of days, and I think that is thunder. It's exciting times around here. I love a good storm. So anyway, I'll make a video again in a couple of days and let you know what the nuclear imaging tests were like.